Hi, I'm Cathy Pettid, the Dean of Undergraduate Students at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, coming to you from my home office. And if you're watching this, chances are you're watching in an unexpected place. You're either back home with your folks, you're at a friend's apartment. Some of you may still be in the residence halls, but all of us are going through a period of transition. And I wanted to send a message to you today to remind you that your Maverick family is still here for you. We're going to get through this together. We're going to get through this stronger and wiser and more patient with one another. And that's really what I wanted to talk to you about today, is patience in this time of challenge. If you watched last week, I talked a lot about 3 guiding principles. The guiding principles of connecting, of taking care, and of getting help. And I'm going to stick with those today with a little bit of a twist. First of all, we need to maintain our connections with one another. Now, some of you may be sitting there thinking, are you kidding me? I've been self-quarantining for a week now. I'm done with people. I get you. This is a challenge for all of us. But nevertheless, it's really important to find ways that we can connect with one another and that we can maintain our patience. Humor is a fantastic way of doing that. And I'm not talking about teasing one another, because some people really don't find that funny. I'm talking about good old-fashioned humor, the kinds of things that give you a belly laugh. And by the way, if you have a belly laugh, you also end up taking a big, deep breath, which is important during this time. But reconnecting with the things that make you laugh, and also retaining your sense of humor when you have the inevitable fight. In my former life as a mental health therapist, I had the great privilege of working with a number of couples during difficult times, and I would share with them research from the Gottman Institute. Now, granted, a lot of their research is focused on committed relationships, but frankly, it's just as good for friendships, for roommates, etc. One of the things the Gottmans talked about, and how I really feel we can all improve our relationships, is to exit fights gracefully and to exit fights with a sense of humor. It is possible. Let me give you an example. My college roommates would tease me that I like to talk a lot with my hands, which is true, and I'm sitting on them during most of this video. They also reminded me when I got mad, I would talk with my hands, but I'd do this bizarre kind of air chop thing, and my hands would get really close together, and I'd clap to emphasize my words. And they would say, whenever Cathy's doing her air chop things, we know, watch out, step back. But that was a funny way we all kind of reminded ourselves just to chill out. We need to take a break. It's not easy, especially when we're angry, but to be able to step back from that is a huge gift. So try and practice that. The second thing the Gottmans talk about that is good for any relationship is try not to focus on the little things. Healthy people in healthy relationships filter. It might drive you crazy that the socks are on the floor, or the dishes are in the sink, or that papers are spread out everywhere. But is that really what's important in the grand scheme of things? So I encourage you, try really hard to filter. Third thing you can do is try not to be defensive. If someone gives you feedback, take it in. And if you don't agree with the feedback, give yourself time and space before you reply. Those simple strategies can help us stay connected in healthy ways during difficult times. Second principle I want to talk about is taking care. And taking care also involves humor, and it involves reconnecting with things that we enjoyed doing as a child. Now, this might sound odd, or you find yourself uncomfortable, but give yourself up to play. Reconnecting with your inner child is a good thing every once in a while. Just yesterday, I got out the Legos and the coloring books and all the things that I'd saved from when my children were little. And I sat on the floor and I started playing with them. I'd just gotten off a stressful call and I needed just to give myself a break. And I needed something that was going to consume my brain so I didn't think about that stressful call. Puzzles are great for that. Some of the just coloring in or outside the lines, whichever trips your trigger. But reconnecting with things that you enjoy is a great way to take care. And then finally, I want to talk about a really important principle, which is getting help. On a very serious note, Douglas County has seen a spike in reports of domestic violence, and sadly, that's not unexpected. When we've got people who are in close quarters with one another, there's a lot of stress, there's concern about finances, the kids are around when they're typically at school. This is a lot for any human to adjust to, and unfortunately, sometimes that ends up in physical violence. If this is a part of your life right now, it's okay to talk about it. And your family is here for you. Your Maverick family has resources for you, and I hope that you'll reach out. I'm personally available to you, and more importantly, we have wonderful wraparound services, public safety, calling 554-2911. If you're off campus, just calling 911. Or if you just want to talk with a confidential advisor, UNO offers advocacy services, and those are trained professionals who work with victims of domestic violence and sexual assault or friends, and they advocate on their behalf, but it's confidential and you run the conversation. They're not going to get out ahead of you and do something that you don't necessarily want to happen. They're just there for you to talk and to help you find resources to fit the needs that you're in. And if you want to call advocacy services, it's 402-554-2890. And of course, counseling is there as well as another confidential resource, 402-554-2409. So whether you have some really serious, scary things going on, we're there for you. Whether you just need to give yourself a mental break and check in, we're there for you. We're going to get through this together with the resources we have, with the phenomenal faculty we have who are trying minute by minute to make your educational experience as best as it can be during these unprecedented times. We're going to get through it. So on behalf of the University of Nebraska at Omaha and the Division of Student Success, take care. And until next time, take a deep breath. All will be well.